Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time. As always, we want to make sure you get plenty of value today and walk away with nugget sales ideas, maybe some new product info that you can use as early as we hang up the call at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure you write down a bunch of notes. I don't care if you love your notes app or want to use that Q&A pane that you can expand or minimize, part of the GoToWebinar software. Whatever you prefer is fine, but the goal is we want to hear from you. And again, we want you to be comfortable and learn from this presentation. So obviously, pick up the phone or email us after we wrap up with contracting questions, application, product questions, whatever it is. We're here to help you every step of the way. As you know, we have 11 marketers now in 3 different states. So reach out anytime. We encourage that. We love that. And if you prefer email, that's fine too. We will meet you where you want to be met. And that's exactly what we're talking about today when it comes to you speaking and selling to prospects. Okay. And if it's the younger generation and they love social media and emails and online e-apps, that's wonderful. Okay. And they're leveraging the latest AI tools, even better. Great. If they're old school and they want to say, Billy, I want to meet you at Starbucks at 9 a.m. and I'll buy you a coffee on me. That's great too. Okay. We all get it. When we talk about being able to pivot, right, and being flexible, especially in today's new world, right, post-COVID, the industry has changed so much. And just a quick story before we jump into today's presentation, and it made me think about this, is we'll call him Joe. And Joe was a financial, and still is a financial advisor, right? And he's been with us for many, many, many. In fact, he's been with us for so long. He was here even before I started. So we started with Kerry before I got into the business more than 23 years ago. And very successful, like I said, financial advisor, always focused on the large ticket cases, whole life, IUL, back then even UL, large annuities. And then he did some other things outside that all fell into financial planning and advising. So COVID hits, and most of his prospects came from these live seminars, right? From like a Ponderosa buffet or whatever it is, right? He loved doing these seminars because he always said, Bill, I have the gift of gab, and anyone that is in front of me face to face, I'll sell them every single time. So anyway, he loved these seminars. In fact, we have a third party seminar and lead platform that he would use back then. So he said to me, here we are, right? COVID hits, and he said, Bill, my business model is gone literally 24 hours ago. I cannot sell like this anymore. What do I do? And I said, Joe, I said, you have to look at cross-selling. You have to look at some of the low-hanging fruit products that everybody wants, everybody needs, right? Yes, the $70,000 IUL sale, right? You're walking away with a monster commission, great renewals. Everybody loves those. But, here post-COVID, when you couldn't do seminar selling anymore, they're hard to come by. Okay, so he had to pivot. So he started to get more involved with Manhattan Life. We have a few other carriers that focus more on final expense, critical illness, disability, alternative LTC products, some great products that are not $72,000 a year, but maybe $47 a month. Okay. And he said, I really want to focus on the big ticket items, and that's where I make my money and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, long story short, he got set up with his health license and started to cross sell using our products, and he started to crush it. Okay. Using his same tactics, but instead of face to face, through Zoom or GoToWebinar. Okay. Or through a share screen. So he started to do just as well, but the point is he was able to pivot, and instead of a $72,000 case, he said, you know what, these $47 a month cases also add up, and the renewals add up, and I'm building my book. And a lot of these consumers that weren't so focused on the large ticket case or IUL or whole life said, hey, I do need critical illness, though. I know for a fact my buddy at work has it, and it's only $47 a month. Guess what? 2 years later, they're now in a position to afford a $22,000 a year IUL. So look what happened by being able to pivot, okay, and giving and offering a product to the masses that everybody needs. I think that's important because we know, and I'm going to show you some stats in a second, we know eyeballs these days are focused on social media, right? You got to go where the prospects are. So social media is key. Even a couple years ago, we had mortgage protection leads, right? Yes, it went in and out, but a couple years ago, it became pretty hot again. Okay, and the lead cost was going down. The great leads we had at our disposal. Okay, guess what happened? They dried up, as we know, right? Mortgage rates went through the roof. Housing market isn't what it is. Mortgage leads dried up. What does it mean? Social media. Everybody's on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Okay, you got to get comfortable and you got to be able to market products that the masses want. Talk to middle America. Okay, and yes, focus on CI, DI, accident plans, LTC. Okay, maybe a smaller whole life final expense policy just to get the door open, share your story, build your book, build relationships, offer the best customer service that exists in the world, get so laser focused on details, and your business is going to change. Okay, you got to be able to pivot with the times, and we're going through it again right now, today, literally. Okay, so I love this strategy. I love this carrier. I love these products that we're going to be talking about today, and they're all so simple to sell and get issued. Okay, this is easy stuff. And it appeals to the masses. Okay, think about if you're a health agent. Okay, we all know how easy it is to sell these supplemental products. Think about a P&C agency. Okay, think about a life agency. Think about this financial advisor, Joe. Okay, everyone needs this stuff. They're great to sell through e-blasts, social media posts, paid ads, maybe YouTube videos. Okay, get the word out that way. Okay, but you have to understand the basics. And then, of course, when Billy Levinson wants to meet you at Dunkin' Donuts for a coffee and a croissant, and he wants to talk about the Monster IUL sale, wonderful, you're there for him. But meanwhile, all of this stuff is running in the background on autopilot. Okay, all right, let's jump into the first slide here. All right, what we're going to do, too, is at the end, we're going to have our webinar giveaway. We're going to ask a question that has to do with the slides. Whoever answers first and correct wins. We have the new version of Apple AirPods and the IUL prospecting book because we want that $72,000 IUL sale, right? So these books, by the way, we have agents give these out to prospects, and it tees up the IUL appointment for you, okay, and hopefully the sale as well. Okay, what I also want to talk about is Manhattan Life, right? Over 100 years old. Here's what's so interesting. Number one, over 17 of these products are on Insure Me Now Direct, so it's free, direct to consumer, and it's free for you to offer this via social media, online, start to leverage AI. Okay, there's so many options now, but you have to pivot. Okay, it's very, very important. Also, because they're on our Insure Me Now Direct platform, every sale you make comes with a 1-year scholarship. So think about, Johnny, Shelly, right? For their children, their grandchildren. They buy one of these products from you and they get a 1-year scholarship for little Shelly, okay, who's 2.5 years old. And she's definitely going to college, right? She's going to be the first one in her family. Well, by spending the $36 a month on critical illness, right, on final expense, whatever it is, you get to offer this 1-year scholarship. There's so much value add there. Okay, that's a huge differentiator for you versus the other 900,000 agents in the U.S. So you got to think like this, and it's free. Okay, Insure Me Now Direct, free. The scholarship program, free. What does it cost to get contracted with Manhattan and Levinson? Free. Okay, it's a win-win-win across the board. When we talk about pivot, right? When we talk about being able to adjust your business model, right? Post COVID, doesn't matter if you're 91 like Joe, okay, or you're 28, doesn't make a difference, right? We need to go to where the eyeballs are. And this is the proof in the pudding. Look at the right top corner. What does that say? Okay, for millennials and Gen Z, their eyeballs are on Facebook, number one, YouTube, number two, Instagram, number three. Okay, look at these numbers. It's unbelievable. 68% that Facebook is the destination I'm going to go to for financial information. Okay, 64% YouTube, 43% Instagram. These numbers are huge. Okay, years ago, the numbers were, not even years ago, I would say 2020, okay, 2019, pre-COVID, they were less than half. So again, as an insurance agent in 2025, this is where I need to be, right? I'm talking for you all. This is where you need to have a presence. This is where you need to be marketing. And I'm not saying go spend 10 grand a month on paid ads. What I'm saying is have a website, okay? Put up a post on Facebook, make some YouTube videos. You can pick a different concept every week, okay? I mean, the ideas are endless. The technology that you can leverage is endless today. But you got to jump in, just know enough to be dangerous, okay? And by the way, we'll share all of this in our thank you email. But you got to pay attention to this stuff if you want to grow your business. You can't rely on Ponderosa buffets and seminars for the rest of your life. Yes, does it work? Absolutely. Okay, but why not have this stuff on autopilot? Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next quickly is talk about our number one, our customer, right, which is you, which is our agents. We don't sell, and I know I mention this every week, but I feel so strongly about this. You as an IMO, okay, and if we have competitors out there, okay, and by the way, we are a top 10 national IMO, and out of the top 10, I would say half of them are selling now, okay, which should be illegal. Because if you're a wholesaler, right, how can you also sell to the public? You're fishing in the same bucket. And then as an agent, you're sending your application to this IMO. How would you feel if that same IMO is also cross-selling 2 years later to Marcia Smith, who you sold an app to? Okay, I mean, there's big red tape there. Okay, big conflict of interest. Anyway, I'm going to make sure I focus back on the slides here. But you, our agent, is our number one. So Eddie, John, Marcia, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is everything. Okay, and top left corner, Eddie, each person played a big part in getting this case approved and paid. Your dad led the charge. Thank you again. Okay, that was over $100 grand in premium. Eddie, thank you. By the way, Eddie and his son are going to be on our podcast August 1st. So you're going to hear more about this dynamic duo. Right-hand side, how can Levinson improve? You can't. I appreciate your support, Johnny. That's everything. Okay, bottom left corner, this just came in fact, an hour and a half ago. Marcia shared, and Wes, by the way, is our newest employee, part of our marketing team that runs Insure Me Now Direct. This just came in today, fresh off the press. Wes was very professional, patient, and kind in the way he delivered his customer service skills. He was very knowledgeable on the subject matter we discussed regarding getting me set up on the Insure Me Now Direct platform. Well, guess what? Manhattan Life is a huge part of the platform. In fact, our go-to when it comes to these types of products. So, Marcia, thank you. Okay, and by the way, you should pick up the phone and call Wes or email Wes and just introduce yourself and maybe pick his brain a little bit to see, maybe some marketing ideas or some co-brands or videos, whatever it is. We're here to help you. Okay, and what we preach and what we talk about, we have a monthly staff meeting, even for the remote employees, is we want to be like Disney World. We want to have a service platform, a business model like Disney World, where you are our number one and we will do anything for our customer, which is the agent. So obviously it's working. Are we perfect? No. Okay, but for the 1% chance where maybe something gets dropped by the wayside, Carrie and I are here to jump in and try to make it right. Okay, that's the Disney World model here at Levinson and Associates. Let's keep moving forward. I know I'm ranting a little bit, but we got a lot to talk about, and I get a little excited when I get into this stuff. All right, real fast. You should be getting this in your inbox every other week. This is our 411 newsletter, and it goes over all of our products, carriers, platforms, what's hot, what's not. Maybe if a carrier or products went away, or we have some new carriers or products, everything, anything and everything you need to know that's based on this industry is here at your fingertips. Okay? Make sure you're getting this in your inbox. If you're not, check your junk folder. If it's not there, that means we have your incorrect email address. So please call us and we'll get that fixed for you. Okay. My feature presentation today, I have Kemp joining us from Manhattan Life, and he's going to dive into the presentation, the products, everything you need to know to get started. Kemp, are you there, buddy?
Yep, I am here. Technology and I are sometimes friends and sometimes not. So, but I think we're good.
That's okay, Kemp.
Yep. All right. Should we be good to go?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Well, I appreciate the trusted partnership that we have with Levinson. We've been with them for a while now, and it's been nothing but perfect. So anyway, they're a trusted partner of Manhattan, and I appreciate you having me on today. With Manhattan Life, last month, we just celebrated our 175th birthday. And with the Manhattan, New York, where we started, that's why there's a Statue of Liberty there. And we were there until 2000. In 2000, we moved our offices to Houston, Texas, where you always have a live person answer the phone if you need anything. And they're privately held. I think that's important to you. Most of our competitors are stockholder held companies. And when they make decisions, it's usually based on shareholder value. A privately held company makes decisions based on what's best for their client, and the client is the agent and the policyholder. So I think that should help you sleep better at night, knowing that Manhattan's in your corner. Supplemental products is our middle name. Indemnity is another way of saying that. That's what we specialize in. We don't try to go to places we don't fit. We just want to be best in class with the indemnity type products. So today we're going to take a look at all the products, an overview, and then I'll dive in a little bit deeper on a couple of the newer products that we have. And with that, I kind of already gone over the intro, wide bundle. The Home Health Hospital Indemnity Select is our newest product out there. It's just been out a couple of months. If we have time, we'll go through our quoting and enrollment tool, and then we'll talk about the differentiators between us and everybody else. So Levinson does all your agent support, and like I said, they do a fantastic job to take care of all of your needs. Talk a little bit more about Manhattan. I'll let you look at that. Like I said, I made the comment, I don't think we would have been here 175 years if we weren't doing things right for people. So these are all the different products that Manhattan offers. I specialize in the individual life and health, and our senior solutions, those are products geared towards seniors. And those are the products that we're going to cover today. This is an overview of all the different products that we offer. We've got the Affordable Choice, which is an alternative to the ACA. It's for that self-employed person that doesn't receive a subsidy. They don't want to pay $1,300 a month for a $7,000 deductible. So that is a good place for that. Cancer, heart, and stroke at all ages is a good product to have. The easiest way that I would get into that transition to go to the cancer and heart is just ask them, are you a heart family or are you a cancer family? It's a simple question. Pause, let them answer you, And they'll say, well, I guess we're a cancer family because mama had it and her mom had it and my sisters had it. And then that leads you right into why do I need a cancer policy? And so that's a good transition phrase. Our final expense product is mainly in the southern part of the United States. It's in 20 states. If it's in your state, nobody can beat my rates on it. That's a bold statement, but I can back it up. It's for your healthier clients. So I'd say if they're average health or better, that's the product for them. Hospital Indemnity Select, like I said, is our newest one, and I'll get a little more detail here in a minute. Home Healthcare Select is a beautiful product. If your client needs help, they can stay in their home and get the help instead of having to go to a nursing facility. And then here, the Omniflex is, it's been out about 2 years, maybe 2.5. That is for nursing home and assisted living centers. So it is a very hot product. It's easier. It's short-term care because it's 360 days of coverage. It's easier to get approved, to get through underwriting. They have 2-tier underwriting. And so a lot of those people that don't think they can get coverage can get it with that tier 2. So that is a product that should beef up your portfolio. And then right below that, these are other products that we have that Levinson has given you access to. So let's talk about bundling a little bit. Why should you bundle? You need to diversify your income. And that's what Bill was talking about when he started off with his friend Joe. If you're just a one horse pony, that doesn't take you very far. You can significantly increase your income by adding an additional policy on there. So I just give the example, the Hospital Indemnity Select is a great product to go along with Medicare Advantage. You would get $360 in additional commission for each sale that you make, just adding that one product that covers the co-payments of what the Medicare Advantage doesn't pay. You increase your income, you've already paid for that lead. You sell them one product, that's great, but what if you sell them 2 or 3? You just made the cost of that lead go down every time. And then it's a proven fact that if you have 2 policies in a house, it increases the retention 35%. If you have 3 products in a house, it's going to go up like 60%. And if you have 4 or more products in a house, your retention rate goes up 92%. And that's your renewals coming back to you every month. And the bottom line is your client needs that protection. So instead of letting somebody else take care of it for them, why don't you? We talk about the 4 core bundle opportunities. These are people that you guys are dealing with on a daily basis. These are your prime opportunities to add additional coverage on there. And then pitfalls to avoid. Instead of going in with the mindset, I'm just wanting to add product in the house, go in there with the idea, I'm wanting to help my client. Where are the holes, or what solutions can we come up with to help better protect my client? So when you go in trying to provide solutions instead of just adding something on, you're doing a good job for everybody. So, and then be consistent. That is very important. Don't just ask every once in a while. Make it a habit that every time you're in a house, you talk about bundling, talking about, are you a heart family? Are you a cancer family? Would you rather stay home to receive care or go to a nursing facility? Those are just transitions that you can get into those conversations. And then last but not least is don't wait and do it at a future date. Do it while the emotion or while the need is known and understood. Do it today. So let's look a little bit more at the cancer, heart, and stroke that we offer, ages 20 to 84. issue age rates, that's a very important point, is the rates don't go up as they get older. It's based on the age that they bought it at. Guaranteed renewable for life, so once they're accepted, they can't be kicked off of it. You get a spouse discount. Your typical underwriting questions for products like this. You can buy cancer by itself, or you can buy the heart by itself, or you can buy them both together. And you buy it in $5,000 increments. So 5, 10, 15, 20, up to $75,000 worth of first occurrence benefits. And then you also have the option of adding a reoccurrence rider. And what that is if you get cancer today and it pays out your $50,000 or whatever your face amount is, 3 years later, cancer comes back again, it'll pay a second time. So that's a very good, unique benefit that they offer. Let's take a look at the states that that product is offered in. So it's got a pretty large footprint in the United States. It's available about anywhere. I did have a question earlier today. If somebody was living in North Carolina and they moved to Virginia, does the policy go with them? And it does. The answer is yes. So wherever you bought it at, it's guaranteed renewable. So anywhere that you would move to, even if it's not offered in that state, that product is portable. It goes with you. So I've mentioned the Hospital Indemnity Select a couple times now. It's for under 65 and it's for over 65. It covers both sides of it. The over 65, like I mentioned, is a really good product to go along with the Medicare Advantage. In fact, it's designed so well. We have a Medicare matchup tool that you can enter the Medicare Advantage carrier, and then it asks you which plan with that carrier do you have. You enter that. It's got a drop-down menu. You don't have to type it in or anything. And then it'll bring up on your screen what our Hospital Indemnity Select is going to pay and what the Medicare Advantage plan says you have to pay, your co-pays. And it matches up the benefits to where they don't have any out of pocket. So it is really a flexible tool. You might want to even give them an extra $100 or $200 a day, just because there's so many non-medical expenses that they could use that money. So that is a really hot product. Like I said, it's just been out a couple months now, and the states that we have it approved in, it's moving really good. Give you a minute to soak that up. We're getting new states every month, but that's what our footprint is today. Every month I'd check back because they're adding at least 1 or 2 a month on. Take a look at the benefits real quick. If you're under age 65, you can make that hospital admission benefit from $50 up to $10,000 in $50 increments. So what it's trying to do is trying to cover your maximum out-of-pocket expense. And like right now in the ACA, $9,300 is the maximum out-of-pocket on the plan most people are taking out. You can dial this in to $9,300. So if they go to the hospital, boom, it pays $9,300. Doesn't coordinate benefits with anybody. None of our policies do. We always pay the full amount regardless of any other coverage that you have. For under age 65, you choose 50 up to 750 in $50 increments. So if that Med Advantage plan says you have to pay $350 a day for 6 days, you would pick that benefit, and that's what it would pay. It also has an outpatient surgery rider that you can add to it. It also has skilled nursing care that you can add to it, because those are usually copays on the Med Advantage. Along with these benefits, the base policy includes, these aren't riders, it's just automatically included in there. Mental health is the buzzword of the day, $175 a day up to 7 days a year. Short duration hospital stay. This is I wish they would call it observation care because that's the way most people know it. And that's where you go in, let's say to the emergency room, they put you in a hospital bed. You're in the hospital, you've got nurses and doctors around, but they never admit you. So if you're over 65, it pays 100% of your daily benefit amount each day that you're in there. If you're under 65, it pays 25% of the face amount of your policy. So anyway, observation care, we're seeing a lot of usage on that. It's a big deal. Emergency room or urgent care. I have seen claims come through already on this for urgent care. $150 a visit, up to 6 times a year. And it doesn't matter, again, if you have other insurance that's paying, we're going to pay you $150 6 times a year if you go to the facility that much. And then ambulance, $200 a trip, up to 4 times a year. That could be from the doctor's office to the hospital, from the hospital to the skilled nursing care, from skilled nursing care to home. It's just for each trip. So that's a nice add-on benefit that you don't pay extra for. And then you have the 3 riders that I just mentioned, the skilled nursing care, the outpatient surgical benefit, and then you can add a first day of hospital admission for the people that are 65 and older. I have a claims example on how this product works. Barbara here, she goes into the hospital for 4 days. Her out-of-pocket is $1,500. So what we paid, there's her $1,500. We paid the $750 for the hospital rider that she added on there. She was in there 4 days. Her daily room benefit was $700 a day. So it's $2,800. So she got paid $3,550 for that 4-day confinement. And like we talked, you said, well, she comes out money ahead. Well, there's a lot of non-medical expenses, getting a toilet seat extension, getting rails in the bathroom, a ramp up to the house. There's all kinds of things that money can be used for. Here we'll give you a little more detail on the Hospital Indemnity Select, 18 to 89, issue age rates again, like all of our products. Guaranteed renewable, this is big. It's guaranteed issue for ages 64 and a half to 70. You don't even have to ask the health questions. Simplified underwriting. Base plan includes, we just talked about that. We talked about the riders. Benefits available immediately. There's no deductible. So I think now you can see why this new product is it's gaining speed quite a bit. It's a good fit for a lot of people. The differentiators, I told you we'd talk about this. If you do call Manhattan, like I said, you'll always have a US-based person to talk to. Our agent resource portal, that's the agent center. Where everything Manhattan, you do it in the agent resource center. Getting to the e-app, getting supplies, checking your business, checking commissions, checking claims for your clients. The next one is like a drop the mic thing, the signature process. You type in the mother's maiden name on the e-application. That is the signature of your client. The client doesn't have to reply to anything. They don't have to click on anything. That is their signature. So we just made the agent's job a whole lot easier. The English and Spanish for all of our brochures is available. I mentioned our offices in Houston. Half of our staff is bilingual. And then they speak other dialects too, but Spanish is definitely a strong suit of ours. If your client doesn't have a social security number, we will take an ITIN number, individual tax identification number. So that's a big deal in some market spaces. Underwriting is quick. Claims, we want to file claims. We want to pay them. And so we give them 4 different ways that they can file a claim. They can do the old-fashioned snail mail. They can fax it in. Believe it or not, people still fax. And then you can upload it to the Manhattan website. Just upload the claim and do it that way. And the newest way is you can go to the Google store or the Apple store, download the Manhattan Life app, and you register for the app. And then you can just take a picture of the claim and send it in that way. So that is really beautiful there. With that, I'm kind of at a point where we can transition and look at the agent resource portal. If you want me to show it, I would need to close this and open up the other. Bill, do you want to give me a little direction on what you want to do?
Yeah, that would be great. This way everybody has a good idea.
Yeah, just bear with me for a few minutes or seconds. Let's see, I want to share. Am I still sharing?
Looks like right now, now you are, yes.
All right. Okay, so if you have a Manhattan writing number and you sign in, this is exactly what you see. So everything I do from this point on, you can replicate it, you can use it. And so I'm going to show you some kind of little tutelage real quick. If we want to go to the e-app or we want to get a quote, we go right here to that button. You can track your monthly sales. You can track your commissions. On in-force business, you can print off your policy list. Everybody you've ever written will be in there. You can download it into Excel and sort it any way you want. Claims, you can check on the client's claims, any billing information. If we have a rate increase coming, it'll be there. If it's about the lapse, this little bell up here will be shaking at you, but you can go over here and look at it too. I'm on a dummy agent site, so I'm not showing anybody's information, by the way. The policy correspondence, I like that a lot. Anything Manhattan writes to your client will be in that file, so you can see what the conversation's been, maybe before they get to you. On agent tools, the biggest thing I want to point out here is we have a training library. And it's acting like it's Monday. Anyway, while it's spooling up, we have training videos on every one of our products, and they last 30 minutes, give or take. And here it is right here, training videos. They give you the password right here. Just point that out. All lowercase ML training. But anyway, you click on that, and I'm not going to go there just because of time. But anyway, you click on training showcase, it asks you for the password. You put the password in, and you can train. If you're an early morning person, you can do it then. If you're a late night person, you can do it then. It's 24/7. The other thing I want to point out, and Bill had mentioned this earlier, is we have product videos. These are consumer facing videos that you can use, and they're 30 seconds to 60 seconds. And put it on your social media, put it on your website. You can attach it to an email, and it's on all the products that we offer. So those are two big points that a lot of people, if they don't know about it, you got to know about it to take advantage of it. So we're giving you a layup here. The last thing I'll talk about here before we look at the e-app is downloads. So if you need any policyholder forms like claim forms, bank draft, you need new bank draft authorization, they're right there. But I'm going to click on product downloads, and it brings up a map of the United States. And so whatever state your client lives in, you can click on it. I'm from Oklahoma, if you can't tell by the accent. It'll bring up every product that Manhattan offers in that state. And you can pull the brochure. Like I said, it's in Spanish and English. You could download the app if you wanted it. The agent guide, that should be your best friend. Every product has its own agent guide specific to that product. And if there's a red flag prescription list, uninsurable conditions, it talks about how to fill an app out, how the claims work. If you have a problem, it tells you who you can contact. Anyway, and they're written in easy read language. I have a lot of agents think, oh, they're written by lawyers and it's a bunch of legalese. I won't be able to understand it. Easy read language means that a fifth grader should be able to read what it says and tell you what the words meant, how to put action to it. So don't hesitate to use the agent guide. It'll have the rates, but these are all the different products that we talked about. The hospital indemnity select, that's the one we dove a little bit deeper on. The Omniflex, if you haven't paid attention to it, you really should. That's the short-term nursing home and assisted living. And you could go to the training videos, and I think they recorded me doing it. So anyway, whoever it is, it's out there. But that's how you use everything. I'm going to go back to the dashboard because that's kind of like home base. This is where everything starts at. And it talks about here contest. They have 2 big trip contests a year. The President's Club next year is going to Cabo down in Mexico. The Chairman's Club, which is the big one, they're going to Greece this year, next month actually. And but anyway, it's a year-long contest. It runs through January 31st, 2026. And they're A+ trips if you like that. It talks about the claims here, quote and enroll. I think we got 5 minutes, we'll hit it. So I hit that, and it'll ask me for a zip code. Come on. There we go. So I'll just put my information in here to keep it moving along. Date of birth, let's make it a 65-year-old. Male, female. It will always default to the effective date to the next day, but you can click on this calendar and you can make it effective whatever day you want to make it effective. If they have a dependent or dependents, you would list their information here. I click view products, and then it brings up every product that a 65-year-old in the state of Oklahoma can apply for. And Bill mentioned this earlier also, you can apply for multiple products with one application. So like dental, vision, hearing, that's almost gotten to be a commodity. Almost everybody expects it. That's a great product, really good. And then the hospital indemnity select, that's the one we dove into. So I'll go ahead and pick it. Oh, Kemp Cole, don't do that to me. I messed around too long. There we go. 73025. They're back in the same place where it kicked me out. Here it asks, is this the first time you're applying for this product? And the reason it asks that, the first time you apply, it's guaranteed renewable, guaranteed issue from 64 and a half to 70. So you don't even have to ask the health questions. But yes, that's the first time. And then it asks you, this is the matchup tool, which carrier do you have? And they say, okay, well, I've got United Healthcare, let's say. And then the plan name, let's just say you got number 7 here. And then it'll ask me to confirm which plan year are you looking at. So 2025. and then it matches it up. This is what we were talking about. Like right here, the Medicare Advantage says you've got to pay $350 a day. They automatically pick $350 a day for 6 days to make sure they're covered. Then you've got the outpatient hospital, $350. So right here, they chose $500 to be able to cover that $350. Skilled nursing care, I kind of went a little, it's $203 a day, days 21 through 100. So down here, they picked $200 a day for days 21 through 100. And there's your premium right there. There it is. If that premium's maybe more than what they want to spend, you could go back up here and remove or lower these benefits. You can change the room benefit higher or lower. Let's say you want to give them an extra $100 a day. Just show you what it changes the premium to there. So anyway, very versatile is what the product is. So if I want to, you and your client, yeah, let's do this thing. And so here I'm going to hit begin enrollment, and it goes right to the e-app. You can save this at any time that you want. If you save it, you would go back and look at it under enrollments. It'll save it up to a year. It's got your basic information, height, weight, what's your address, hit next. You know, just in the last 5 years, have you been declined? If you're 64 and a half to 70, it doesn't matter what you put in here, they're going to take the application, then issue the policy. From there, you just hit next, put their email, their banking information, and then their signature. We talked about that. You type in their mother's maiden name, and that's all anybody has to do. Who to mail the policy to, you know, make sure your agent number is correct. Everything's true and correct to the best of my knowledge. At that point, I'd hit next, and it gives you a plan summary. You know, this is what you're applying for. And then if you're good with that, you would hit validate, which I didn't fill any of the blanks in, so it won't go unless I have all the blanks filled in. That's one reason I like the e-app so well. The other reason that's very intuitive, it's kind of like an Amazon shopping cart. You know, it kind of leads you through. It's not tricky. The policy gets issued quicker. It can read your writing. Your commissions are paid quicker. We'll take paper applications, don't get me wrong, but the e-app is so simple. That's definitely in your best interest to go that way. And with that, I'm going to go right back to the Agent Resource Center. That's where we started at. And hopefully I covered everything that you wanted to see. And if not, Levinson can get hold of me and we can fill you in more.
Absolutely.
Bill?
Yeah, that was great. That was great, Kemp. And yeah, there's a lot of products, as you can see. But I think, you know, the most important point I wanted to drive home was everyone needs these products, right? Especially middle America. They're the low-hanging fruit, as we discussed. Commissions are great. Pass-through direct contract, meaning you get all the renewals, and most of these products pay renewals. So if you're not appointed with us, we will get you set up. If you, let's just say you're already appointed, but through another upline, and you say, Bill, I want Insure Me Now Direct and the scholarship program, I want to work with you guys. So as long as either you haven't written business, I believe it's 6 months or more, or if you have, you need a release, so we can take care of that and help you. Just let our marketers know, and we will make sure to get you up and running. And just let me throw this out there. With your first application, once you move it or transfer, you get cash for contracting or leads for contracting on us. Okay, so you get to pick. Let's jump in. Thank you again, Kemp. Awesome work. I want to jump in. I have a few more slides, and then we're going to have our giveaway. And I want to try to get everyone out within 8 to 10 minutes here. Okay, we can. There we go. Perfect. Let's go to the next slide. Okay. And by the way, if you have an opportunity, let's just say whatever, it's an association, it's a business that you're working with, or maybe you have some downline agents and we need Kemp to get involved in a training, either online, through a call, or even face to face. Let us know. We can arrange that once you're set up. Okay. If we can mute those lines, that would be great. And I'll rush through the last part here. Okay, so this is our newest addition to the team, Wes. I mentioned him earlier, and I encourage you to pick up the phone, introduce yourself by phone, email, whatever. He is here to help you move the needle with marketing and Insure Me Now Direct. And then, of course, Manhattan Life falls under that umbrella. His background is in technology marketing, so he's going to be a great asset to the team. And we're going on month number 1. So very excited to have Wes. Let's keep moving forward. What I want to do next is talk about the Insure Me Now Direct platform for a minute, because we're always making this bigger and better, okay? So number 1 is no one else has anything like it, okay? Yes, there's a lot of fluff out there. Oh, yeah, we have a direct-to-consumer platform. Meanwhile, it costs you whatever, $100 a month. There's a contract, or even worse, every client you sign up is a referral fee, okay, meaning they are the agent of record. Again, that's something that should be illegal, okay? If you're the agent and you wrote the case, I don't care how it was written, you deserve, number 1, to have the client in your book, number 2, to get paid full commissions and renewals, okay, which, by the way, every product on here has renewals except the term, okay, which is typical anyway. So you get full pass-through renewals, full compensation, plus all the free additions that we spoke about earlier. And we're making this bigger and better. We have new carriers and products that are coming to the platform this year. Okay, so great stuff to come. Let's keep moving forward. I want to be quick because I want to try to get everyone out of here on time or very close to it. Okay, so these are all of the carriers and products that are on the platform today. Pick up the phone, talk to Wes. He can go through this with you. Take his time, take your time, make sure that you have all your answers and you can move forward to get this to market. Let's keep going. So this is what the platform looks like. If you haven't seen it yet, very simple. And again, we can co-brand this for you. So they don't see Levinson anywhere on this. It looks like it's yours. You built it. Okay, and then if you want to add links, or you want to do some tracking with analytics, or have AI built into this, we can take this to the pro version. We have a standard freebie and then the pro version as well, so we can take it as far as you want. This is the basic free version. It's so easy. Okay, I always think about Amazon, like when we were building this 10 years ago, or even today. Okay, it's got to be simple. I know Kemp mentioned the bundling and the shopping cart approach with the Manhattan product. So you can do all of that from here. Because once you're a consumer, and you can be on the phone with your consumer or face-to-face when they're doing this on their phone or iPad. But anyway, once they put in their basic info to run a quote, and as soon as they hit proceed, that's going to take them to the Manhattan technology. So off our platform onto Manhattan Life's platform, and then you can do everything from there, or your consumer can do everything from A to Z, even get approved, policy emailed, and you are done. Okay, so this is a quick example of when they're quoting. So basically on the left side, we have the selection of various products available for that person in their state. Then on the right side, it's going to show you exact products, carriers, premium, buckle up, buttercup. And then next slide is they're off to the races and hopefully approved. Let's keep moving quickly. I want to go to the pro plan. We'll skip over it. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So this is kind of, think of Insure Me Now Direct, the freebie version that we give you. Okay. But that version on steroids. Okay. So there is a fee for this. We have a third party company that will walk you through the entire process A to Z. But let's say you're selling a bunch of health, you have a big book of business, and you really want to take this to the next level with SEO and paid ads, and we can organize all of that, and we can plug in other lines of insurance like P&C, health, life, whatever you want to bring in. So we can make this totally turnkey, customized just for you. So that's pretty neat. We have a few agencies doing this now, and it's working fantastic. Also, this third party runs the paid ads for you. So that's another option. Okay, marketing. So, Bill, I have my website. It's up and running. Looks great. Problem is, I have nobody clicking. Okay, it's a problem. So, number one, you got to start advertising, marketing. Okay, you've got to come up with those posts, those e-blasts, at least on a weekly basis. You got to get creative. You got to get scrappy. You got to network, work with health agencies, P&C agencies. This could be their plug-in life division. That will help you drive traffic. Okay. Number two is we have a complete turnkey marketing library. It's all free, co-brandable videos, flyers, all the above that Wes can help you with anytime. Okay. Even a revenue booster and accelerator program that we already built. It's these turnkey campaigns, plug and play. You're off to the races and it's free. Okay. But at the end of the day, we want you to sell more. We don't get paid until you sell a product, then we get paid from the carrier, as you know. So we're all in this together. Okay. That's why we can afford to do all of this for free. Okay. Because we get paid on the back end when you write the policy. This is my favorite door opener product. Let's go to the next slide real fast. When you think of long-term care, not everybody can get approved. Okay. We know that. Okay. Underwriting could be a little tough with LTC. So what I love about this door opener, low-hanging fruit, Manhattan Life product, think about this. It's virtually guaranteed issue. Okay. So just about everyone will get approved. There's only 2 knockout questions. Okay. I don't think I've seen a declination in months and months. So, and we sell thousands and thousands of policies. So just think about that for a second. The max benefit is $13,500 per month. Okay. That's pretty good for middle America. That'll do the job, right? For most people. So I would get this out there. It's on Insure Me Now Direct, 100% direct to consumer, and comp is great. Again, full pass through. Let's keep moving forward. Most people don't think about final expense and Manhattan Life. Okay. And you should be. And here's why. Here's the proof in the pudding. Check this out. You know we have the most competitive carriers and products with every niche in our market, in our industry, period. Okay? Final expense. We handpicked the top carriers. These are all our carriers, by the way, so it's not like we're saying anything bad, but the facts are the facts. Here's a female 65 non-smoker, $20,000 death benefit. Look who's coming in 10 to 15% cheaper than everybody else. Look at the bottom, Manhattan Life, $71 a month. Okay, the next closest was Trans at just about $78. It's a big difference, especially when you're working with this type of population, right? So they got to be competitive, and you're still getting full comp, excellent renewals, and the free scholarship program for little Shelly and little Johnny. Okay, ton of value add there. You'll get the sale every time. Let's keep moving forward. By the way, the sweet spot, ages 50 to 75. If you want to make a note, 50 to 75, but the product goes all the way to age 85. Okay, now these are different third-party marketing platforms that we can get into anytime. In fact, Wes is our guru when it comes to marketing. Insure Me Now Direct, and of course, your own products and carriers as well. Anything to do with Levinson, he will help you move the needle and explain the 2 platforms and make sure you get the co-op discount, or we have a free trial with Ringy that we negotiated just for our agents. Sample social media posts, that's what's in front of you now. So we looked at these products and then we did a search, right? In all of the platforms, we wanted to see what was working best. So in fact, the slides in front of you is what you can get out to market now. Okay. This is what is performing best as far as clicks, messages, and shares. And we can take your logo, image, phone number, put everything on there and get it out to you at no charge. Let's keep moving. These are 2 awesome IUL events. I think there we go. Okay. This is our podcast slide. I think I just messed up on 2 slides there. My apologies. So the podcast slide, real fast, I mentioned earlier, August 1st, we have Eddie and his son, who are a great father-son duo. They're crushing it right now. And these are other episodes. We do these every single month. We handpick the top episodes in 25. So check these out. They're all 100% complimentary. So when you're walking around the block, you're on the treadmill, Stairmaster, level 10, and you're listening to Grant and how he landed a $100,000 orphan case, okay, you're going to want to slow it down to level 2 and take notes, because I know you could do the same thing. Let's keep moving forward to our training events, and then we'll put a bow on this. Okay, last but not least, the IUL workshop. I mentioned it for a second. If you want to do this in person, you're in South Florida, or maybe you're in Florida, you want to take a drive south, or if you're in Key West, north, great. We have a breakfast training on October 2nd where you get free CE and you learn from our resident IUL coach, CLU, from Allianz. You're going to love what Coach Eric has to say. You're going to learn a lot and, again, get free CE credit. If you are outside of Florida, you can't make it down, no problem. We have a webinar. We're basically going to do the same exact thing on August 5th, which is around the corner. Register for that today. Okay, let's keep moving forward. Okay, I know we're about 4 minutes late. That's our webinar menu. We'll have this in the thank you email. And then let's go to the last slide here. And then we're going to have our question of the day. But before I do that, my Positive Tuesday quote: the minute you start taking things for granted is this minute you risk losing them. Okay, now that's a hard lesson, but we can all learn from this. Personal, business, doesn't make a difference. Be grateful, be appreciative. It's hard to have a rough day, right? When you think of that one or two things that you're so grateful for. Okay, you got to think about these things. Keep your foot on the gas. We heard about the Hulk Hogan just passed away, Ozzy Osbourne, I think yesterday or 2 days ago. There's a lot going on. You got a lot to be proud of. Spread the word, be positive, smile, right? And guess what happens? Your clients, your prospects, they feel that positive energy, okay? Especially when you share about some of these horror stories that happen to families without life insurance or without a supplemental product or critical illness, when Uncle Johnny, right, had a heart attack or cancer or stroke. But guess what? There was a policy in place that gave him $100,000 to help with the bills. Okay, think about this stuff. You can transition it any way you want. You got to get scrappy, you got to get creative, and you got to get out there and market. Let's have our question of the day. Whoever answers first and correct wins. My question is, we spoke about the final expense product with Manhattan Life, where it came up number 1. What was the issue age range, the sweet spot? What was the issue age range I spoke about? The sweet spot where it shines as the number 1 final expense product with Manhattan Life. It's between what and what? Whoever answers first and correct walks away with the new Apple AirPods and the prospecting book. On us, do we have a winner?
Yes, we have Timothy B. Timothy B.
Timothy B, like boy, congrats. The target age range where this product really shines, ages 50 to 75, 50 to 75, but it goes all the way up to age 85. And don't forget all of the bells and whistles it comes with. You got to get appointed. You got to start marketing this stuff, quoting it, writing it. I think you'll be very, very happy. Let's have a great day, great selling. Thank you again. Reach out anytime with questions. Take care.